Hello folks, welcome to Italy. My name's Steve Sutcliffe and this is the new Tyre Seeker Test Centre. So what we have here is a couple of EV tyres. One is the original equipment tyre that the Tesla comes on as standard. Another is an EV specific tyre from Pirelli. I don't know which one's going to be best, but there's only one way to find out, so let's get cracking.
As standard, the Tesla Model Y comes on Hankook Ventus S1 Evo 3 tyres, which have been specifically developed by Hankook for electric vehicles. EVs, of course, being a lot heavier than petrol or diesel engine cars, and so require a very different kind of tyre. But we wanted to know if the Tesla's performance and overall drivability could be improved by fitting a set of Pirelli's new Elect tyres, which again have been developed for EVs. We drove and timed the car on both sets of tyres, on wet and dry handling tracks, and well, this is what we discovered.
I'm not a massive fan of the Tesla in the first place, because it does feel like a big, old, heavy car, and the weights, obviously they get the weight as low as possible, but ultimately it's got quite a high centre of gravity, and the management of weight is incredibly impressive in one sense, but a bit scary in others, because it's very good up to a point, and then you start to think, oh my goodness me, no, this car does weigh 2.5 tons or whatever it actually weighs. So the better the tyre you have on it, the more natural it feels. And on the standard Hankooks that the Tesla comes on, the safety systems just have a complete and utter heyday in the wet, to the point that you almost wonder whether you're going to start going backwards, or whether it's even going to allow you to go forwards at all. I mean, the way it's so obsessed with not allowing the body to lean, or the power to just become too aggressively distributed. The TC and the ESP systems and God knows what else just come on all the time on the Hankooks on the wet track. It is miles better with the Pirellis on around the wet track, because it liberates the car by having that much more grip, that much more composure from the tyre. Just means that the safety systems don't have to come on anywhere near as frequently, and it just unlocks the Tesla, and all of a sudden I really started to enjoy it on the wet track. Before we go to the dry track, however, I need you to just have a little listen to a little message from our sponsors at eTyres.
At etyres.co.uk, they sell tyres, lots and lots of tyres. Unlike us, however, they don't really care which ones win our group tests, because they sell all of them at the very best prices you'll find anywhere on the internet. So if you do want to buy any of the tyres that we feature in this test, do yourself a favour and check them out, etyres.co.uk. Right, back to the comparison test.
It's much more composed on this dry track than it was on the wet track. Decent bite at the front, it stops well considering how heavy it is. Okay, here's this steady state corner, and I'm doing, what am I doing, 130 clicks, which is quite a lot for the road, you know, so it's quite a big ask. However, the traction control system is on all the time. The light is flashing, just holding me back.
So then I swapped the Hankooks for the Pirellis and went back to the dry track. And once again, well, there was a huge difference. Not just as crazy a difference as it was on the wet handling track, where the Pirellis made the Tesla 2.5 seconds faster over a 50-second lap, which is insane, but still enough to make it quicker and just far better to drive in the dry, full stop.
Put the Pirellis on and all of a sudden the car just feels unlocked dynamically. Much more kind of sparky and reactive and responsive on turning, under brakes, like that there. The nose now feels like it wants to go where I want to put it. Whereas on the Hankooks, it's a bit of a guessing game. It's really, once you learn to just kind of tease it into corners rather than throw it at them. So the moment you get aggressive with the Tesla on either tyre, all the electronics just go, no way, pal. I'm taking over. But you can at least be a fair bit more aggressive with it with these Pirellis on. Conclusion is very, very clear in this case. The Hankooks that this Tesla comes on as standard ain't great. However, stick a set of Pirelli Elects on this Tesla and it becomes a different car. A much nicer car, a much more responsive car, a much more enjoyable, interactive car. It feels like you make a difference with the Pirellis on, whereas with the Hankooks on, it feels like someone else is in control. And all that is down to the tyres. 4 little rubber contact patches beneath your backside. It's amazing, isn't it?
This is a big win for the Pirelli Elect, because as I'm sure you're aware, EVs are very much part of our future. And when a simple set of tyres can make this much difference to the way an EV like this Tesla drives, well, you've just got to take note. Conclusion: fit the very best tyres you possibly can for your EV, because they will make a massive difference to the safety and enjoyment of your car, especially if it's a Tesla.
Thanks for watching this comparison test. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe and see you next time.